And welcome back, friends, fans, and race fans, to the Sim Racing Network's broadcast of the second duel of the 2019 Sim500 Transervice Cup Series, sponsored by Transervice. I tell you what, Don, that first duel was fun, and it got really interesting towards the end there. We had all kinds of drama. What do you think we're going to see this time around?
I hope to see a little bit of different racing there. Maybe not single file, man. I want these guys to get a little dicey, man. I want to see some. I want to see some side by side action.
Well, I do too, but let's be realistic. I believe it's the same situation as last time, if I'm
It's
not
definitely
mistaken. The top 18 or 19 go, is it?
top 19 will go as long as Chad Coleman, who is
Is still in
the
the top.
outside pole
Yeah,
winner, is still in that count in the top
right,
in the bubble.
right. Roger that. Okay, so they're gridding. They've got these guys down there on pit road gridding already. We're gonna lead you guys through our top 10, and then we'll talk a few points about this race again. So here we go. The way it's gonna come is we got Chad Coleman starting on the pole. Outside of Chad is Sean Bounty.
Oh, I don't have. Sorry, I had my.
I caught him off guard.
You're gonna have to take over for me. I
All
didn't have
right,
it
that's
set
fine.
up.
We got Nick Timms on the inside of row 2 in third place there. Anthony DeBarro on the 27 car outside of him. And inside of row 3, Timothy Johnson. Outside of row 3, Steve Ritter. Steve Ritter, somebody I haven't talked a whole lot about, Don. Coming in 7th place there, inside 4th row, Shane Ewing in the number 32 car. Outside of him, Gabriel Perry in the number 19. And inside row 5, Bobby Wetzel at 9. And outside of him, Dwayne Vincent at 13. Now, Don, we've got the same type of situation we saw last time, but I'm going to be honest with you. In this crowd, we've got some guys that are actually usually a little more aggressive. But I just still can't, I can't help but think that they're going to try and take it easy. And, as long as they're in that top 19, they're not going to really get, I don't want to call them stupid, but, aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think guys are going to get very aggressive that are, know they're going to be locked in. If they're in the top 10, top 15, they're not going to get very aggressive. I think most of the racing is going to be, like you said before, it's going to be in the back. I think it's going to be right near that bubble. It's going to be between maybe 15th and 20th where those guys are really going to be trying to get into that bubble, into that transfer spot.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. So we're going to pull somebody up real quick and talk to him. Somebody that we all know and love personally. Our very own Ben Kilcrease. Ben, this is John up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, John, you kind of surprised me there. I was having a chat with the team. How you guys doing?
I apologize for that. You ready for this race, my friend?
Oh, I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. I said it earlier to you guys. The butterflies have turned to pterodactyls in my stomach. So,
well, did you take that shot of Jack Daniels like I told you to?
I didn't get the chance to. I'm going to wait till after the race.
All right, buddy. Well, look, you guys are about to. We're gonna let you get back down there and get ready. I know you're fixing to go green. Good luck, Ben.
Thanks, John. You guys have fun up there.
And that was our very own Ben Kilcrease, Crossover Incorporated Motorsports driver and SRN announcer deluxe, is what I like to call him. Here we go, folks. Pace car is coming down out of 4. Going to duck into that pit road real quick. We're lined up for the start. We're ready to go. Coleman on the inside, Bounty on the outside. The top 19 transfer, as long as Coleman stays in that top 19. That's the way it's going to be. So here we go. Green flag is out, and we're off, Don.
Yeah, we're off side by side right now, 2 wide. These guys are just going to kind of get sorted out, kind of get through the gears here as they go down into turn 1. It's going to take them a while to get up to full speed. Could take them about a whole lap before they can get to top speed here.
Now here's something we didn't see that last race, Don, is the outside lane challenging already. Bounty up there up top. He's got that 27 pushing him right on his tail of Anthony DeBarro. Now that is something we saw last race with somebody overheating for pushing too long, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But they're still 2 by 2 by 2, pretty much all the way back to the field.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a gap on the high side, but looks like right now they're definitely going 2 wide longer than they did in the first race. Oh, it looks like Anthony DeBarro is going to slip down there as he finds a spot open on the inside line, which is going to put Sean Bounty back a little bit. But it's very early in the race, so he doesn't have nothing to worry about too much. And those guys that are on the high side are going to come right up to his rear bumper there and push him up.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we have a few more takers on the outside line than we did this time, too. And we'll give Chad Coleman leading that first lap right there. But I got a feeling it may not stay that way. We've got a lot of good, strong cars on that outside lane there.
Definitely. As you say, we got a lot of guys that, are a little bit known for being maybe a little bit more aggressive here in some of the races. So we might see a little bit more kind of exciting side-by-side racing here as opposed to the first race. Like you said, the outside line does seem to be pretty organized pretty well. If those guys can just kind of stay nose to tail and get their drafting done right, they might be able to contend with that low line there as Chad Coleman takes another lap there in the lead.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, I'm looking back on from Sean Bounty's car on that beautiful Mountain Dew car driven by Dwayne Vincent, number 13 Mountain Dew car. It looks great. And he's got the Exalta car pushing him, and somewhere back there in all that mess, believe it or not, is the 00 of our own Ben Kilcrease in the It Gets Better Project Ford Fusion. It's a beautiful looking car. A lot of white on there, a lot of color in the lettering and the numbers and whatnot. And he's up there working his way up through the field on that outside lane, and just behind him is his teammate. It looks like Kevin Brown in the SRN sponsor Ford. So yeah, I'm giving a shameless plug to my broadcasting network there, but those guys are up there in that top line trying to make it work, Don.
Yeah, and if you notice, talking about the top line, Sean Bounty just led that lap on the high side there. Got credited for leading that lap, had his nose out in front of Chad Coleman there. That high line, if they can get, a little bit more organized and maybe kind of do a little bit more side drafting. I notice these guys tend to not, on the high side, not to do as much side drafting as the guys did in the first race. So, but Sean Bounty's still up there on the high side and still got his a little bit of about half a nose in the lead. But that goes away right there as you see Chad Coleman nosing his way up.
Well, the thing about that high line, Don, it's going to take commitment from these drivers. We saw it so much in that last race to get up in that high line, and when it doesn't move as fast as they want to, they ditch everybody and go back to that inside line, and that's not going to get it done. They've got to commit. They've got to stay up there and make it work, and it's going to take more than 3 or 4 cars. It's going to take 6, 7, 8 cars up there in that high line to get that speed built up and get around those guys down the low line.
Definitely. The high line is definitely harder to work as far as getting by the low line. You got to have guys that are committed. You guys got to have guys that know how to draft, know how to get nose to tail, don't get too far spread out from each other. And you can see right now that, the high line is basically dropping back to the third place car on the low side. So they're not quite as organized as they were before. And you can see the guys in the back there. There's guys in the very back that are 3 wide.
3 wide. Yeah, I saw that. And that is really going to upset things with that outside line, Don. Look at that. We got a car getting shuffled to the outside there. That's that Cole Trickle looking car. I love that paint scheme.
That's a great paint scheme.
I was a kid when that came out in '90. I mean, I was 19 years old, but and to be completely honest, I wasn't as into NASCAR as I am now. I wasn't really up to speed on how the cars worked and all that. And it was a great movie when it came out in the theater. Oh, we have a wreck on the back stretch. I'll continue that later on. It looks like right now it's just one car, and we might be staying green.
Doesn't look like we're gonna get any caution for that. Single car incident went down on the inside. I'm trying to see what number that was.
It was number 54, Michael Priest.
Well, there you go. Single car accident. Looked like maybe a bump draft gone wrong. Got turned by the 46 and just went to the inside. And as you said, a single car incident. So we're not going to have a yellow. That's too bad for him, but we're going to continue on racing here up front as we see Nick Thames is out front, Mr. Hitman himself.
Yeah, and back to that accident, it involved the car I was talking about, that 46 Cole Trickle Days of Thunder looking vehicle. That's really unfortunate. It looked like Nick might have got up into the wall a little bit and then came back down and got into before a Priester. So, that's a shame. But, man, already some excitement, but it didn't do anything for the top 19, really. So back to the front, like you said, and Nick Thames has indeed taken over that lead from Chad Coleman. I tell you what, that outside line, though, still hasn't given up. Got Bounty up there working his way back up to the front. He's dead even right now with the car down, the third car down there in the low line, and they're trying to make something happen there, Don.
Definitely, and Chad Coleman is definitely making a statement to these guys. Not only is he one of the guys that's going to be starting on the front row of the big race, but now he's second. He led some laps already, and now he's running second. He's definitely making a statement. He doesn't have to race his way into this race. He's already locked in, but you can see he's being super aggressive still in the bump drafting on the 51 car there of Nick Thames. And, he's basically, like I said, he's making a huge statement for these guys out here to say, hey, just because I'm locked in doesn't mean I'm not fast and doesn't mean I'm not going to still be aggressive and win this.
That's right. You can definitely say that. And I tell you what, for a guy that's locked in, he's definitely not taking it easy. He's not up there just, tenderfooting around this track. I was almost going to use a different word here, but I'm trying to behave myself.
Oh, I think I know what you were talking about.
Yeah, you and back here in the back we got, well, in mid-pack I should say, we got 3 wide going on.
Yes, we did.
With Kevin Brown in that SRN Ford Fusion. He kind of got shuffled up there a little bit. He's going to lose just a couple of spots there. Stuck on that high side, but he might find a spot to get down right there. So he's going to drop back a little bit, but not too far. Still got plenty of time. We're coming around lap 9 here. So I'm going to kick him the flag lap 10 here shortly. About a quarter of the way through the race there, Don, but he's good to go for right now. He's still locked in, if I'm not mistaken. Let this thing shuffle back through here real quick and see who is on the bubble. Of course, it could change from the time they go across the line and get down to turn 1. Kevin Brown's on the bubble right now.
Yeah, he's 19th right there because we got Chad Coleman run up there in second, so we're going to count the top 19, and he's right there on the bubble. But it can change any time here at Daytona.
Absolutely. He's one of these guys who can't really afford to let 3 cars get by him, so he's got to be a little more aggressive than everybody in front of him, and the guys behind him have to be even more aggressive than that. We got Mike Kelly back there. That's a strong car. You got Mike Kelly, Gabriel Perry, Anthony Calantoni, Jonathan Lockhart. All these guys are strong cars, and they're not that far behind the lead pack. It's really the same pack we started with there, Don, minus 2 cars, the car of Michael Priester and Joe Hudson.
You can see they're going 3 wide back there again. They're still right there with our own Ben in the 00 car, 3 wide right there. Those guys are definitely racing. They're actually 3 wide, 2 deep.
Yep, they sure are, and I'm pretty sure that's some communication going on between Brown and Kilcrease right there. He's trying to get his teammate back to his bumper so they can try and make some headway, get back up there, and make sure they're all locked into this race right now. They kind of shuffled that 63 car out and left him out there dry.
Yeah, they definitely did. And this is where we were talking about the hardest racing was going to be. These guys are desperate. Even though it's early on in the race, they still need to make moves. Just being outside of that bubble spot, seeing that on your relative screen when you're racing, you don't like that. You want to be inside that top 19, even if it's this early in the race. So guys are still going to be fighting very hard back here to get into that top 19.
Absolutely. And that's Brian Boris Cook in the 63 car. Made his way down. He got back in line, and it looks like we're going to score him 16th, still inside the top 19. So at the moment, he's locked in, but that could not have been a good feeling for him to be locked up there on that outside there like that, just watching cars pass him up. So now we're looking back in the field, and folks, Mike Kelly, we got somebody we were just talking about. He's a strong driver, one of the better drivers at Sim500. He's on the bubble right now, back there in that 19th spot. He's got Sean Castro in front of him, Derek Runs, and Gabriel Perry on his tail, looking to take that spot away. And look at this. The 63 car of Cook is outside again, going 3 wide. I'm thinking he's doing this on purpose, maybe trying to shake things up.
He might be. He's just trying to get a little bit of a buffer. He wants to get up there. He wants to make sure he's got his spot locked in. So far, so good. I mean, they're running good 3 wide, but it's a very precarious situation right now.
Precarious and risky. Just too much risk. I'm not a risky driver. Anybody knows me will tell you that. I'm a play it safe kind of guy, and he's not playing it safe. He's got a gap right there. He can jump back down if he wants to and try not to lose too many more spots. But we'll give it to him. I mean, he did make a couple of spots up there like that, but then when your help leaves you, you're just hung out to dry.
Well, he's working his way up. He started 26, and right now it's scoring. We'll go across the line and we'll update, but it's showing him 13th. And like we said, that changes minute to minute here, especially Daytona. But he's definitely worked his way up. Like you said, you want to be in that. You want to not only be in that bubble, but you want to be ahead of that bubble, so you got plenty of cushion.
Absolutely. Now, don't look now, but up front, we've had another change for the lead. And Coleman said, look, I want the lead back. You got to give it to me. So he took that lead away from Nick Timms out there in that 51. So we got a change for the lead. We got a lap car up high. That's Michael Priester in that Budweiser 64 that was involved in that 1-car accident earlier. He might, stiffen things up a little bit there, but they all got by him okay, no problem. He gave him plenty of room. So back up front, it looks like Thiessen's trying to make a run on the outside with Boundy pushing him in that outside lane, trying to get that lead back, Don.
Yeah, Nick is, he's a very smart driver, but he also can be aggressive. And so he kind of comes down the corner a little bit. He's trying to get that side draft. He definitely knows how to work this draft here. Nick is definitely very experienced in super speedway racing. I've raced with him many times. I love racing with him. He's a heck of a drafter. And he's definitely trying to make that high side work right now. Hitman is trying to get his way to the front.
Hitman, huh?
The Hitman, that's right. His own hitmanracewear.com website, I believe, is on that car right there.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we are seeing some great racing up front, and definitely a little more exciting than that first race. I'm not putting anybody down in that first race, but it was no contempt of that race, Don. And here we got 2 wide, 3 wide right now. Look at that, 3 wide back there in about 12th place.
Yeah, I'm loving this right now. This is the race that I wanted to see. I love this side-by-side racing because I don't have to be in the field doing it. Watching it's a lot less stressful than having to be there. These guys definitely, like you said, they're 3 wide back there in about 12th spot, I think it is. I think that's
I'm
what
telling
that
you,
is.
yeah, somewhere in there. And if it was me on track right now, my hands would be cramping so bad from gripping that steering wheel
Definitely.
so tight, you know.
I'd have a death grip on the steering wheel right now. I
That's
mean,
right.
you see these guys right now. Nick on the high side, Chad Coleman down on the low side. Chad Coleman's got nothing. This is just for bragging rights for him. He doesn't have to race his way in. He's already made it into the show. So he wants to win this thing just strictly on bragging rights, And these guys definitely are not making it easy for him. Nick on the outside with Sean right there behind him, just trying to push him. They're trying to make that line work, and they just can't quite get the momentum that they need.
Well, you said it earlier. He's making a statement. Chad Coleman is. I mean, he's locked in, but so what? Well, he's letting everybody know right now. I know how to lead laps here. I know how to take the lead, and I know how to keep it. And that's exactly what he's doing right now.
And you'll notice that when he comes out of the corner, you see him kind of moved up about half a lane in his car. It kind of disrupts the air a little bit for Nick, and he also knows another thing that Chad knows about the aero package on these cars is that you don't want to be squared up with the guy either in front of you or behind you. That's not going to suck the air up and make you be faster. You actually kind of want to be offset. You want to take that car emblem that's right in the middle of the car, and you kind of want to put it to either left or the right of the car in front of you, and that'll suck you right up. You'll see it actually kind of happening right now on the inside line right there with Anthony DeBarro catching up to Chad Cole. Not only that, but it actually gives your car a little bit of air so you don't overheat and blow your motor like we saw in the first race.
Yeah, well, that was really unfortunate. We definitely do not want to see that again. Not with anybody up front and take out the whole field. But you're right. This is some great racing we've got. And thank you for those valid points you made. Something that, to be completely honest with you, I haven't done a whole lot of cup plate racing in a while, especially fix-up racing. So I was unaware of the aiming points. But now that I know,
You actually see, if you actually watch Anthony DeBarro in that 27 car, he actually does it. You'll see these two, Chad Coleman and Anthony DeBarro. You'll actually see Chad Coleman right here. He's doing it right here. He's offsetting his car, and Anthony DeBarro knows that. He knows how to draft. You can see those two guys know how to work the air here at these restrictor plate races. And that's why these guys are basically being able to hold off Nick and Sean Bounty up high.
that's some great insight right there, Don. Thank you for that. And I'll tell you what, it's working for him. Right when you think Thiesen's going to make some room there and get up to him on that, on that outside line, they pull that offset maneuver like you're talking about, that drafting maneuver, and it kind of slows it down. But look at this. Tim's on the outside with Bounty helping him. He is making some room up on the outside there.
He got a momentum off. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say he got momentum that time because the lap before that, he actually came down and kind of got that side draft on Chad Coleman, so it got him that momentum up the corner. But now he's been changing his line. I'm watching him right now. Nick kind of changed his line and went up the track a little bit, so it actually broke his momentum. That's the problem with the high line. You make small mistakes, and they can be big losses on the track.
Absolutely. And this time by, the guy sitting on the bubble is that 19 car of Gabriel Perry back there, way back in the back there. You can see him kind of like an aqua blue, maybe teal green, I don't know what that color is, white two-tone car. He's sitting on the bubble right now, folks, and he's in a mess of cars. All these guys behind him want the spot he's got, including that Richard Petty throwback down there that's behind him on the inside line there. That's a good-looking car.
Yeah, that's definitely a good-looking car. And like you said, there's a handful of guys back here in the back. They're riding back there. They know, the laps are clicking down. They're about halfway right now as we're showing lap 20 as they cross, 21 as they cross the line. These guys are running out of time. Their laps are kicking by. And you know what? Another thing we haven't even talked about, pit stops. We haven't talked about pit stops. These guys have to pit, and they're going to have to pit here soon. It's probably in the next 10 laps.
Oh, look out.
Oh, there we go.
The lap car of, big wreck. That's going to bring the car out.
Everything I said about pit stops, throw that out the window.
Yep. It looked like the 46 of Nick Hurd bounced off the wall and into the pack.
Yeah, it's just what a mistake, and it can make so many cars just get ruined right there in such a hurry.
Yep, he was trying to give them room is all he was doing. He bounced off that car down into Brian Boers cooking the 63, who collected, I believe that was the 97.
Yeah, it looks like the 97. You're correct. Yep. Yeah,
he
bounced off the
cars
wall.
on that one.
Yeah, definitely hit the 97, and then from there, anybody that was behind him just basically trying to dodge him, get out of the way. So right there, pit stops are not a factor anymore. Fuel will not be a factor, but we got some tore-up race cars.
Yes, we do. So back up front, we're going to let the leader has caught the pace car. They're going to come around, I'm sure, and we'll see if we can get some pit stops going there. And we're gonna wait and see what happens there. Don, I would be heavily surprised. Heavily surprised? Is that a way? I don't know. I'd be very surprised if these guys didn't take this opportunity to duck in and at least top it off. Maybe not take tires, but definitely top it off.
You know, I don't think tires would be a factor, especially guys for like Nick Thames up front and Sean Bounty. You know, don't take tires. Anthony DeBarro, I know he's probably not going to take tires. These guys are just going to top it off and get out of there as quick as they possibly can because track position is everything right now.
Absolutely correct. So we're going to let these guys do their thing here. And then once they've come out of the pits and cycled around at least one time, folks, we'll give you an update on the top 19. And are you kidding me? Wow.
Wow, I'm really blown away by this.
I am too.
Yeah, you know, they might, under caution, they might be able to save enough fuel to these guys don't need to take the gamble to fuel or to top off. So, I mean, maybe they know something that we don't. Obviously, they're on the track and we're not. So, it was to my recollection that they would need to pit, but apparently that's not a problem.
Apparently not. Well, let's see who did duck into the pits then. Chad Cole, but he's got heavy right front damage. Another driver for the Crossover Incorporated Motorsports Group. He's got some damage.
I hate seeing that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That 43 car of Doug Roth, the STP entry there, the throwback, he's got some damage. He's on pit road. Bobby Wetzel in 9 doesn't look like he's got too much damage, but he is in the pits taking fuel, at least it looks like, and tires. So we got a few guys that took the opportunity there to get down on pit road, top off, and get some new tires. But our leader stayed out, Don, so maybe you're right. Maybe they can kill that throttle while they're on track under caution, coast around a little bit, and save enough to go all the way on one tank of gas.
I mean, possibly. Like I said, I might completely be off track here about their fuel runs, but I mean, obviously these guys are behind the wheel, so they know what's going on, and under caution they can save a ton of fuel and make up for it when they go under green. So, but as of right now, it's we'll have them get back around, but it looks like Chad Coleman, who is actually our outside pole setter for the big race, is leading this race right now.
And I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Not at all.
Coleman's always been strong. He's always been a strong driver in the Sim500 series. So we're going to let this thing shuffle around one more time, folks. We're going to take a commercial break while they do that. And when we come back, we'll give you the new top 19 and find out who sits where.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium? Check. Formaldehyde? Check. Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series, Duel number 2 here at Daytona. Lap 24 rolling by. We're under caution from a couple of cars getting into each other back there. One of them was the lap car of the 46 there of Nick Hurd. Unfortunately, got into the wall and took a couple of guys with him, Boris Cook and the 63 and a few other guys. So we've made some pit stops. Well, some people have there, Dom. Some people haven't. We're going to go ahead and stack this thing up and give these folks the rundown, the top 10 right now. Top 19 seems to be Chad Coleman in first, Nick Timms in second, Anthony DeBarro third, Sean Bounty fourth, Timothy Johnston fifth, Dwayne Vincent sixth, Shane Ewing seventh, Scott Stenzel eighth, Steve Ritter ninth, and our own Ben Gilcrease, I got it there, in 10th place.
Definitely, you have issues there. You're so choked up that he's in the top 10, you couldn't say his name.
I'm just so happy.
I'm so happy. So let's go finish the rundown here. In 11th, we got Kevin Brown. 12th, we got Gabriel Perry. 13th, we got Derek Rung. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I am. Rungy? Okay, there we go. In 14th, we got Nick Silver. We got Anthony Calentino in 15th. Is that right?
Calentoni.
Thank you, Calentoni. In 15th, Bobby Wetzel in 16th. Chad Cole in 17th. And I'm going to say this guy's name wrong. I'm so bad. Help me out here.
Lionel Callisto.
Thank you. In 18th, Doug Roth in 19th. And that's going to be your bubble driver right there. Doug Roth. Everybody behind him is racing to try to get in.
Now, here's the thing, though. 17th, 18th, and 19th, and 20th, these guys are all involved in that last wreck.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a fight between damaged cars for that bubble spot. Meantime, back up front, the pace lights are off. These guys are stacked up 2 by 2 by 2, ready to go back to green. Coleman, he took the inside line. No surprise right there. To his outside, he's got Nick Timms. Pretty much the way it was when we went to caution there, Don.
Yeah, same guys pushing the same guys. We're going to see here just a fewer laps. Oh, and he got a great start there.
Yes, he did. He got a real good start. I don't know if maybe Timms was laying back, trying to get some pushing going on there from the cars behind him, but lost a lot of ground to Coleman there. He's dropped all the way back about the third row back, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of stacked up that high line there a little bit, and that low line's back to exactly what they were doing before, which is just nose to tail, bump drafting through there, just got to get through the gears. These guys are getting up to speed. It'll take them about a lap to get there, so here we go. Like you said, Timms is about the third row back. It looks like he's going to try to get some momentum going through there.
Well, here we are, 15 laps to go, and it's been interesting and exciting. We've had these guys fighting up front, too wide. Wasn't none of that nose to tail business we saw from duel number 1, but at the same time, it's a little bit of heartbreak back there for some guys that were involved in that unfortunate accident with Nick Hurd. Kind of upset the top 19 there, to be honest with you, and shook things up. But it is what it is. That's plate track racing, folks, at its finest.
Yeah, right now I'm looking towards the back at the bubble driver, Doug Roth is showing, and he's kind of on the tail end of this pack here. I think he's going to lose the draft here, but he's got a couple guys behind him, and way in the back there's 2 guys nose to tail. I don't know if they're going to be a factor or be able to catch him, but I'll have to look at that later.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So anyway, back up front, our leader, Chad Coleman, still out there by a pretty good little lead over the guys on the outside line there, but they are kind of getting a little reorganized there, Don. It looks like trying to get some momentum going. It's pretty much the same characters we saw last time around before that caution came out.
Yeah, same guys that were bump drafting before, same guys that were working with each other before. Nick and Sean Bounty up high. You got Chad Coleman and Anthony DeBarro down low. Going back to that same thing with offsetting each other on the low side, like, Anthony and Chad are working real good together. Nick is, he's on the second row now. He's making his way up there. He's getting momentum, so might be able to make a move here at the end.
Yeah, I was watching the back of the pack there. Ben Gilcrease, he restarted 10th, but he kind of lost a few spots there all the way back to 14th now, kind of the tail end of the inside line, but he's got a lot of help coming to him down there on the low line. About 4-car stack up coming to him, catching back up to that big main pack on that inside line right there. 9 cars leading that little charge. Ben jumps back out to the outside, trying to ride that wave of momentum, trying to work his way back up that top 10.
Yeah, he definitely is. That outside line is definitely trying to organize up. There's guys not afraid to go to the outside and try to make something happen out there. This front pack here, they're all in it as of right now, but one little shake-up, one wreck here could definitely knock one of these guys out. We got 3 wide here going for the lead. You got Nick got busted out to the outside there, and Sean just powered up through the middle with drafting help. And we see Nick Tames actually scrape the wall a little bit, throwing some sparks there as he goes 3 wide. Falling
loses
back
a lot
like
of momentum. He's doing it again. Yeah, he's falling back like a brick. Lost a lot of momentum there. So from second all the way back to, we'll wait till he crosses the line here, but I'm guessing probably 9th or 10th.
Definitely. You know, that was definitely a great move for Sean Bounty. I don't know what happened there with Nick. I don't know if he just got shuffled out or, you know, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But, you know, Sean took advantage of it, saw that Nick went really high, stuck his nose in there, and that's what happened. But we definitely have a hard battle up here up front, man. These guys are still nose to tail. And Sean, he's got almost a car length in front of the leader there, Chad Coleman. Can't quite come down in front of him.
Hell of a push. I tell you what, so much for taking it easy and locked in, schmocked in. You know what I'm saying? These guys want the bragging rights of saying, hey, I won that duel right there.
Oh, definitely. And you can see Chad Coleman powering to the front again as he gets a heck of a lead. He doesn't want to get too far in front of Anthony DeBarro because then Anthony will be able to suck up to him, and so that Highline will be able to do the same thing. But as of right now, you can see Sean Bounty and Timothy Johnson working on the Dwayne Vincent working on the outside there, trying to push each other. Sean trying to get back to the front.
Now, here's the thing. This entire pack that we're watching, every single one of these cars in this big lead pack right here, they're all locked in now. That's 18 cars all the way back to Chad Cole. From him all the way up to Chad Coleman in first. All these guys are locked into the show. The car sitting on the bubble, as long as Coleman stays in this pack, will be Doug Roth back there at 19. And he's only got one car with him, and that's Jeff Sharp. You got to remember, we had this going on last race also. These two guys are fighting each other for that one spot, but they can't pass each other because they just don't have the strength. They're both damaged cars, so this will be fun to watch for a little while. But we're gonna leave them alone, let them sort it out. Back up front, Bounty was scored with the lead that time. He is really making a power move on the outside there, Don.
You know, nobody told these guys that they're locked in because the way they're racing right now, they're racing like they all need to race for these positions to get in for some reason because they're racing really hard up here. I mean, these guys are all locked in. They could literally just go in a straight line and all make it to the end. But no, they're definitely not doing that. They're side by side as far back as you can go. And Sean's trying to make that high side work, but he just can't quite get the momentum. If he would kind of, you know, get down a little bit, maybe do some side drafting, he might be able to get that momentum off the corners, but doesn't look like he's being able to take advantage of that too much here.
I just, you know, again, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a scaredy cat or coward. I don't see the point in wrecking my car racing like this, you know, especially like right now when you know you're in a pack that's all locked in. No need to get each other crazy, you know, but these guys are race drivers. You know, we race, we don't walk. This is, you know, we're not here to make friends. We're here to make, you know, wins and race. So, you know, that's the other side of that logic. Look at this. Somebody's going to poke their nose out 3 wide there trying to get a little draft off that broken car of 64 who was involved in an earlier wreck tonight. In the meantime, back up front, Bounty in that 34 car, Don. Here he comes again. Great momentum off that turn.
He's trying, man. These, you know, it's for bragging rights. You're talking about, you know, these guys are taking these chances to wrecking these cars and everything. It's getting in the closing laps. They know that they're, you know, chances are that they're going to race to the end and probably wreck, you know, maybe at the end. And you can see at the back here, guys are going 3 wide, making moves. Look at this, aggressive moves that for positions that don't really matter. These guys are all locked in, but you can see that 3 wide, just a few rows back from the leaders.
That was Scott Stenzel in that 24 car. That Jeff Gordon throwback, he's like, excuse me, I would like to get up here and race for a little while.
Yes, pardon
right
me,
up in there.
Turns his blinker on, just came right up through, pardon me, excuse me, and got that spot. And, you know, these guys are being really aggressive, which I love it. I love this kind of racing. This is great. These guys don't care. They're just going for it. They know they're locked in, but, you know, this is going to make for a great, you know, Daytona race when these guys all go to the big show. They're 3 wide back there. They you know, they're having a good time, man. Super speedway racing. This is what it's about.
Oh, Gilcrease brushed the wall. That's going to kill his momentum a little bit there. But you know who looks back and doesn't like seeing this? Sean Bounty. All this racing with these guys in the high line is killing his momentum right now. And he's probably like, come on, guys, line back up back there. But
he wants to see these guys just line it up. He wants to see the top line get organized, and you know, he just needs to get that momentum. He doesn't need to lead this race for a whole lap. He just needs to lead it when he gets to the end there. So, and that's what he wants to do.
There's only one lap that really matters.
That's right.
Race, and that's the end of lap 40.
And
Speaking
Chad
of,
Coleman,
5 to go right here. And
Chad Coleman is. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
No,
Chad Coleman, I mean, he is really showing this field in the race 1 and race 2 here something else. This guy is just on a rail. He's on that bottom line. He's just been able to lead all these laps, been able to make it work. He's been able to work great with Anthony DeBarro, and I don't know if Sean's got anything for him up high.
I don't think so either. And I'll tell you, this is a hell of a statement Coleman's making, too. It's a very strong car. He knows how to keep it. And just as we say that, look at this momentum that Bounty's got on the outside line. They finally got lined up behind him a little bit there. And he's, well, as I say that, he fades back a little bit. But he's definitely trying so hard up there on that outside line to take that lead away from Coleman.
It just seems like the high line is actually just too much. They go back and forth, back and forth. They can't get organized as much. It seems like, you know, when you get the cars not being able to organize with their drafting and everything else, it seems like they kind of lose the momentum. You'll see Anthony DeBarro and Chad Coleman have been working fantastic together tonight. They've been doing everything right. Anthony doesn't let Chad get too far ahead of him. They want to be able to keep that momentum going when they go through the corners. They know that the high side can actually carry the momentum better through the corners. But these guys are just putting on a clinic for the rest of the field tonight.
They really are, and it's taking them to school, man. Taking them to school. So here we are. We got at the line now. It'll be 3 to go, I do believe. Yep, 3 to go at the line right here, folks. And we're getting down to it, and they are still moving and shaking back there in the back. Nick Timms is, he's trying to work his way back up front where he was. In the meantime, we've got a couple of cars that look like they've kind of lost that draft. That's Ben Kilcrease in the 00 and Chad Cole. Those two are teammates. Chad got a little bit of damage earlier from one of those incidents. They've kind of lost this draft a little bit, but, I mean, nothing to fear. Those two are locked in currently at this moment. They've got a 20-second lead over the guy back there in 19th, so they really, unless they get involved in the wreck, they don't have anything to worry about.
And talking about the guy in 19th, Doug Roth is on the bubble right now. He's got Jeff Sharp right behind him. These guys are pretty much nose to tail, and they're truly fighting for this last spot right now. So we're going to have to see how these guys work it out. I don't know if Jeff Sharp behind Doug is going to do anything, but that last transfer spot, these guys are nose to tail.
Well, in the meantime, up front, they've taken the flag for 2 to go. That's right, popsicle sticks are up for Coleman, who pulled back out to a pretty substantial lead there on the bumper of Anthony DeBarro, on his bumper, I should say. Bounty falls back quite a bit. Don't know if he's trying to lay back and get some help to help push him back up or what's going on there, but he fell back substantially. And here we are down the backstretch, a lap and a half to go. And it's anybody's game still right now there, Don.
Yeah, it looked like DeBarro was going to possibly change lanes and maybe get in front of Bounty to try to take advantage of that momentum. But I'm not sure if Anthony's, good to go with where he's at, or if he probably wants to win this race. So I think he's probably looking at Sean there, and maybe if Sean gets a good run, he can jump outside and Sean can push him past Chad Coleman there in the number 20 Transervice car.
Well, whatever they're going to do, they need to do it right now. Here we come, white flag lap right here, folks. This is it. Getting down to it, coming through turns 1 and 2. You see Chad Coleman in that 20 car being pushed by Anthony DeBarro down there in that Coors Light 27 car. But on the outside, Sean Bounty with a head of steam coming down that backstretch, Don.
Yeah, definitely. You see Anthony DeBarro gave Chad Coleman a heck of a push down the backstretch there. He's backing up a little bit, maybe to get some more momentum going through this corner. Give him a little extra push. But Sean Bounty right there, he's got a little bit of momentum with the 13 car, pushing him on the high side.
Coming out of 4 for the last time, down the line through the triover. Look at this, boys. Bounty on the outside with a head of steam, but it looks like it'll be Chad Coleman bringing home the win. DeBarro in second and Sean Bounty in third. Our bubble transfer spot unofficially goes to Doug Roth in the 43.
And our own...
Scratch that. I'm sorry. They haven't crossed the line yet.
No, they actually, you're right. Yeah, they haven't crossed the line yet. The 57 was actually ahead of the 43 for a minute there, but they're still racing for the bubble here.
And down to the line, they're going to come. Look at this. Yeah, look at this.
57's right there, side by side. Oh, it just came short.
That was a good race, clean race too. That was really clean to see that Jeff didn't get overly aggressive with Doug right there and put them both in the wall.
Definitely.
That's it for that one, man. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our race winner, Chad Coleman, and if we can find it, we'll talk to our bubble transfer spot of Doug Roth.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium? Check. Formaldehyde? Check. Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
And welcome back to Daytona. We have concluded duel number 2 for the Sim500 Transervice Series Cup Series. It was an exciting race, Don. I tell you what, man, that was the race we were looking for. These guys were out there mixing it up pretty much the entire 40 laps. I was really impressed with that. How about you?
Oh, it was a great race. It was a wonder. Chad Coleman really, sent a statement there to the whole field. He's going to start on the outside of the big race, and now he wins this second duel. So he's definitely showing these guys that he knows how to air moves and can work in the draft.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to give you an unofficial top 19 real quick. Chad Coleman, again, wins this race with Sean Boundy in second, Anthony DeBarro in third, Dwayne Vincent in fourth, Timothy Johnson comes on fifth, Scott Stenzel sixth, Shane Ewing seventh, Kevin D. Brown of Crossover Motorsports in eighth place, ninth place, Steve Ritter, 10th place, Nick Timms in that 51, who was fighting for a while for the lead there, Don, but had some bad luck with getting shuffled out there and finishes up to 10th.
Yeah, he's definitely a contender early on. In 11th place, we got Derek Runge. Is that his? I'm saying that guy's name wrong. I know it is. Runge, thank you. 12th place, Gabriel Perry. 13th place, we got Anthony Calatoni. We got, you just told me his name, and I'm going to ruin it again. 14th.
Lionel Callisto.
Thank you. Lionel Callisto. Bobby Wetzel, 15th. Nick Silver, 16th. Our own Ben Kilcrease in the 00 and 17th. Chad Cole, 18th. And the bubble driver, the very last person to transfer, Doug Roth in the 19th position.
It was absolutely one of the best races we've seen so far for these duels. Out of the
two.
It
was a great race.
I'm sorry, that didn't make sense, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It was a wonderful race. These guys were side by side. They were battling to the end. Even these guys up front, they knew they were locked in, but they still battled to the very end.
Absolutely. Like you said, Coleman was really making a statement. So I believe we've caught up down there, haven't you, with Doug Roth, our bubble place finisher?
Yeah, definitely. We got Doug Roth here in the number 43 car. He is our last transfer spot. How do you feel knowing that you're going to be making it into the big show there, Doug? Doug? Do we have Doug?
Yes, you got me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're here. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. No, it was one hell of a battle for the bubble spot, and I knew he had he actually had a little bit better car than I did, so I had to kind of block them when they were coming to the line there out of 4. But I knew it was going to be close, and unfortunately we got wrapped up in that earlier accident. But no, we're really happy to have this number 43 STP car in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, definitely. We were watching that battle there between you and Jeff. You guys were definitely going side by side, and he almost had you there. But you're in the big show there. You got anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors, any teammates you want to mention that might be watching?
Yeah, I'd like to first thank you guys there at SRN for broadcasting. Appreciate that. All the guys over at Turn 1 Heroes. I'm not going to name them all because there's a bunch of them. Hippies Paint Shop for doing all the paints. And Sim500 for putting on a great league.
Well, congratulations for making that final transfer spot for the big show, and good luck in the big Daytona race.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's Doug Roth, the number 43 car, our final bubble transfer spot.
I'll tell you what, he had quite a point there. The car that was racing with him was Jeff Sharp, who's not quite as damaged as Doug was on that last one. But I'll tell you, he led the lap that mattered the most. He led that last.
That's right.
Got himself into the show. So I'm going to come down here real quick to the Victory Lane, the old school's Graphics and Design's Victory Lane interview area, where I have caught up with Chad Coleman. Chad, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
So let me ask you something. Was it your plan to come in and just stink up this show, or what?
We had the prime starting spot right there, so
why not?
Yeah, why not? I kind of thought about it. I was like, I really want to see if I can get in the back and see how hard it was to pass, and it looked like seemed like it was fairly difficult. But I believe the weather was a little different from what we'll run for the race. It seemed to be the track a little cooler and stuff. So the handling of the car never really came into point right there. We was wide open the whole time.
Well, man, you made it look easy, to be honest with you. You're out there putting on quite a show. Great drafting between you and DeBarro. It seems like, you all had it kind of down to where even if that outside line got a good run, you guys could work it out and pull that momentum off of them. You led 32 out of 40 laps, my friend. You were definitely making a statement. That's Don's words right there. Don Runkle Jr., my co-host here, he said you were out here to make a statement. Let these guys know I am ready to race, and I'll be there Sunday for the big race, for the big show, to make my statement there.
Yeah, I mean, DeBarro did a great job pushing. We was trying to work the lines right there, to see what you could and couldn't get away with, and just trying to make sure when I needed to bump, we were there. And DeBarro was always right on point with bumps. Never done anything to upset my car. We were fine the whole time, and yeah, so it turned out pretty good. There's not a scuff on this thing, and we'll put some tires on it and try it again.
All right, my friend. Well, congratulations on your Duel number 2 win. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Transervice for sponsorship. Get that deal hooked up with Glenn Campbell. So I can't thank him enough. Me and my teammate Trey Edison be starting from the pole for this deal with a front row. And JD Laird, JDR Graphics, for putting the paint scheme together. It's a really good looking car. So we'll try to keep it out front and keep it on camera.
Sounds good. There you have it, folks. Chad Coleman, Duel number 2 winner from the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series qualifying race, I guess we could call him there, Don, from Victory Lane right there. You heard it from the man himself. He was there, so why not?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, he had nothing to lose. He was basically here for bragging rights, and he definitely showed the field what he was all about.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's going to wrap it up for us this evening. Daytona. That's all I can say. It's always a great place to come to. You never really know what you're going to see. You kind of have an idea. Yeah, there's going to be pack racing. Yeah, there's going to be bump drafting and duels. There's going to be a wreck eventually. Tonight, we had really kind of a really different dichotomy with these races, Don. We had the first race, nose to tail. Nobody wanted to get out of line and try and make something happen. They wanted to play it safe and still wound up having kind of a nasty little wreck there. It took some really good cars out. And then the second race, you had the exact opposite. You had guys 2x2 the entire race, always trying to make something happen. You still had another accident that kind of shook things up there for that bottom 19, but still, all in all, a great race there.
Oh, great race. It just shows how you can have two separate beasts here at these restrictor plate racing. You can have guys that are just going to stay on the bottom line, run nose to tail, and, accidents can still happen even with that kind of racing. And then we had in the second duel, these guys running side by side, and, they were a little bit more aggressive, but put on a great show either way. Both races were fantastic.
Absolutely. So that's going to do it for us here at Daytona. For myself, Don Runkle Jr., and Aaron in the booth, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, folks, we'll be back here for the big race next weekend. The Transervice Cup Series starts with the Daytona. I believe it's 250, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And we'll be, let me see here if I can find the times for you. I apologize. I don't have these right square on top of my head. I want to say we start broadcasting. Hold on a second. 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and I live in Central, by the way, so that's, that always gets me kind of messed up a little bit. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central will be on air. Plan on seeing an exciting race, folks. That's all I can tell you. So from here in Daytona, myself, Don, and Aaron, we'd like to bid you a fond farewell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to go by Facebook and like us at facebook.com/the Sim Racing Network. You can go by Twitter and find us at twitter.com/the Sim Racing Network _. We're on Twitch as well, and our website is thesimracingnetwork.com. Y'all have a good evening. God bless everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.